Hi guys, it's Ray Newland here. A massive warm welcome to the Sports Coach Guru. Now, if you're a soccer coach, goalkeeper coach, rugby coach, basketball coach, football coach, tennis coach, jockey, martial artist, personal instructor, you have 1,000,000% come to the right place. And I've been teaching sports coaches now, and people in sport generate comfortably over a six-figure income now for over a decade. I've actually been in the business for 20 years, and as I say, I've been mentoring sports entrepreneurs now for over a decade now, and I specialise in helping these guys make a full-time income, actually working part-time hours once everything's in place. Now in this video here, this free video, I'm going to show you how I developed a 500k plus per year sports coaching and e-commerce business e-commerce website stroke business. Sounds complicated. It's so easy to do. I'm going to show you my 4 secrets or 4 steps on how you can take your coaching business and turn it into potentially a company that you can sell for millions of dollars. You see, where most coaches get it sadly wrong, and I'm talking 97% of coaches, what happens is they'll create a fantastic coaching business for themselves, but what happens is they just continue being a coach, and then what happens then when the time comes when they can no longer coach and earn the income for their coaching services, they either end up having to sell their coaching business for peanuts, or for the most part, they end up just having to give their coaching business away. What I'm going to teach you in this short free video is just by doing a couple of simple steps, instead of being like 97% of coaches, as I say, who have to basically give their business away after 5, 10, 15, 30 years in business. How good would it be for you be able to sell your business for $500,000, $1 million, $5 million, and be able to retire from the efforts that you've put in over the years? Now that's what I'm going to show you in this video. As I say, it's going to be about 45, 50 minutes long. Please watch it to the end, because as I say, if you're a sports coach or you've got a sports business, seriously, this could be the best free training video that you'll ever watch. Now, the question you're going to ask yourself now is, what is your sell-by date? Now, when I ask the majority of coaches, sports coaches, that question, what is your sell-by date? 97% of the time, I get a completely blank look back at me. They've got completely no idea what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not knocking these coaches, because if somebody would have asked me that same question when I first started out, I would have been one of these coaches given that same blank look back. But what I mean by your sell-by date, especially if you're a coach who's having to trade your coaching time experiences for money, i.e. you've got to be on the field or in the gym if you're a personal fitness instructor, if you've got to trade your time for money, honestly, you are in massive of trouble. Sorry to be the bearer of the bad news, but I'm just trying to give you a bit of a wake-up call here, because there'll come a time when you will no longer be able to trade your time for money. And one day it's going to happen, whether it's through injury, through accidents, through losing passion for your sport, through competition. There's 1,000 things that can happen where literally overnight you can lose the ability to coach, and that means you're without an income. Now again, just for a moment, just think about other people in your current sports niche. So whether, I say, you're a jockey, a soccer coach, basketball coach, martial arts coach, just think about someone in your sports niche where they had a thriving business and they got an illness or an injury or too much competition set up in their area, and all of a sudden, unfortunately for them, they've lost everything more or less overnight, and they end up waiting tables or driving taxis. We all know someone or several people in our sports niche that's happened to, and I'm afraid to say here, if you're not going to do what I'm going to say in this video, the strong chances are you unfortunately might become one of those sad statistics who had a thriving business only to unfortunately end up in a dead-end job when your sell by date comes. Now, the key is to make sure that when your sell by date, I'm going to say this again, the key is that when your sell by date comes, is that you want to be ready, that you know that you can still earn an income whether you can coach or not. Okay, now as I go through this video, you'll understand what I'm saying. Now, you could be one of these coaches in the minority that might say, right, I know what you're saying, I cannot sleep of a night time thinking, what am I going to do when I can no longer coach? If you're in that situation now and you've obviously understand that, please watch this video to the very end. As I say, this will 1,000,000% help. Especially if you're at a stage now, you're at a, you're just, you're lost at the moment. You're not sure what direction to go. You're at a crossroads in your life, and you're thinking, do you continue with your coaching business? Do you get out now and do something else? So if you're, a bit lost at the moment, you've definitely, I keep saying, come to the right place. Also, if you're a skeptic, by the time you watch the end of this video, you won't be a skeptic anymore about myself, because I'm going to prove to you and show you that I walk my talk. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you exactly what I sell, and I'm going to give you all my websites so you can go and do your due diligence on myself. So if you're a skeptic, and you're sitting there with your arms crossed, your legs crossed, your eyes crossed, I'll be honest with you, I'm exactly the same, because there's a lot, if you're like me, I listen to a lot of these videos online because I'm always trying to pick up a gold nugget from the videos. Most of the time I don't pick up any gold nuggets because most so-called gurus online just talk a load of crap, and that's why I want to, basically what they'll do is they'll tell you how to do something, but they're not doing it themselves. And I've actually paid for programs nowhere near as good as what you're getting here for free. And then I've actually spoke to the so-called guru, and I was like, look, you're telling me to do this and you're telling me to sell this product or do that. What websites have you got? Can I check your website out? And they're like, oh, no, can't do that. I'm giving away my trade secrets. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. You've took money off me. You should at least tell me the products that you're selling. No, I can't do that. And the truth be known is they never had a website in the first place. They were just basically talking a load of crap. So I'm going to be showing you all my websites so you can go and do your due diligence on myself. So if you're a skeptic, one thing I will guarantee, even if you don't decide to listen to any of my advice here today or tonight, depending on where you're listening to this free video, one thing I will assure you, you'll go, you know what, right? Didn't really agree with what you said, but I've done my due diligence on you. Yep, you're the real deal. So if you're a skeptic, you won't be. But you won't be a skeptic by the time you've watched this video. But one thing, no matter what, you'll definitely take away a gold nugget that can help you in your current business. And if you're looking to start your coaching business, seriously, what I teach in this video is more than enough to help you comfortably compete with anyone else in your sports niche, in your area, even though they're well established. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, obviously, I'm going to show you how I developed. Actually, even better, I'm going to show how you can develop a 500 grand sports e-commerce coaching website business. Now, I know that all sounds complicated. It won't, as I go through my four secrets or 4 stages. And as I say, my training is going to be completely different. Again, just to quickly go back to what I was saying, when I've listened to similar videos like this from the so-called gurus, what really used to annoy me, as I say, they all just used to talk about, yeah, this is what I do, I've done this and I've done that. But I always used to say to them, listen, don't be telling me what you've done, show me. And none of these so-called gurus could show me. They were great at telling me what to do, but they wouldn't show me what they'd done themselves, if that makes sense. So I'm massive on that. So I'm actually going to say, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not only going to tell you what I do and that you can copy and implement. I'm also going to show you. Okay, yeah, I'm going to show you what I do as well. Again, just to prove and walk on my talk. Now, one of the big things I always get asked by sports coaches, especially the coaches who've not played professionally, they say, but Ray, I'm not an expert. How can I compete with ex-professional athletes? And it is so easy. All you've got to have is just an absolute passion for your sport, a willingness to get really educated in your sport. And here's the key. You've got to have the enthusiasm to share your passion and your knowledge for your sport with like-minded people who will be your customers, who will absolutely love the information that you give. Seriously, I've been doing this now, as I say, for 20 years, And believe it or not, the majority of ex-professional athletes that try to go into their own sports coaching business fail, because the majority of them are not businessmen or businesswomen. Now, the ones that I mentor, the ones that listen to my help and advice, they've gone on to build huge businesses. So, as I say, please don't be put off by competing with an ex-professional athlete, because, as I say, if you've got the passion, you're willing to get educated, and more importantly, share your knowledge with your customers and potential customers, honestly, you will never ever want for customers. And the majority of sport, when I say students, my sports coach students who I teach to become a success in their sports coaching business, I would probably say as much as 95% of the ones who are having huge successes, the ones who are having six-figure income businesses, 95% of them, were not professional athletes. Okay, so again, it's just all about passion. Now, before I go into the 4 secrets, I'm just going to tell you a bit about myself. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to waffle on for the next 5 hours, but I think it's important, if you are going to decide to listen to me, you need to know my background, where I come from. And as I actually tell you my background, it actually forms part of the training program, because my experiences has actually led me to these 4 secrets that I'm going to explain to yourself, because I had haha moments, or I had awakenings throughout my career that made me realize I had to do things in my business, if that makes sense. So I'll just quickly fly through this, but it is important because it does lead on to obviously the 4 secrets that I'm going to explain. Now, my dream was always to become a professional soccer player. Actually, I wanted to become a professional goalkeeper. So there I am in the blue jersey with the ball in my hands, looking a lot thinner than what I am now, and having an awful lot more hair than what I've got now as well. But if you look into my eyes there, you can just see that I'm like, wow, I'm completely living my dream. And it's a pity really, that photograph, there was about 20,000 people at that game. It was a derby game, and if you don't know what a derby game is, it's when 2 local clubs play each other. And because there's a lot of animosity between the supporters, sometimes when I played, there used to be a lot of fights between the crowd, and all you can see behind is the police, and the police were actually separating the home supporters from the away supporters. But as I say, there was a big crowd there. But as I say, I wanted to become a professional goalkeeper from the age of since the age of 8, but from the age of about 14, I embarked on becoming a professional goalkeeper. This is important because this leads on to something that I'm going to speak about in a moment. So from the age of 14, I embarked on trying to become a professional goalkeeper. And every single weekend, well, most weekends, my father used to take me to trial games all over England where I lived at the time. And what a trial game means is when a professional soccer club will allow anyone to come in, and it could be like 400 players there, 500 players there, and over the weekends there might be 40 soccer games get played, and the scouts at the soccer club will walk around, and they will, any players that they think were good enough, they would pick them for their professional soccer club. And I did that more or less week in, week out, from the age of 14, and week in, week out for years and years. I got told I was not good enough. So I'd go back to my goalkeeping coaches. I'd say, look, this is what they said I need to improve on. So I had mentors. I even at that age, I knew it was common sense to have a goalkeeping coach and a mentor to obviously, make sure that I was fine-tuning my skills. And eventually I achieved my dream at the age of about 18, going on 19 years of age. So I had like nearly 6 years of rejection and having to go back to the drawing board and to my goalkeeping coaches before I eventually achieved my dream. So as I say, for 10 years, I was living my dream. I absolutely loved playing in front of the supporters. A lot of, every single week having thousands of people, chanting your name. Sometimes they weren't chanting positive things. Especially the away supporters would never chant positive things, but I absolutely used to love it. I used to love, young supporters wanting to come up and take photographs of me, have autographs. The other players, that used to annoy them, but to me, I used to find it very humble that, children and even adults who were supporters of the soccer clubs that I play for, they wanted to take time out of their lives to come and say hello to me. And to me, I felt that was a very humble experience. And I was, I say, living my dream. Never thought it was going to end. I had a couple of big soccer clubs ready to sign me, and then bang, I lost everything within 1 second. So this was the first wake-up call for me in terms of this was the sell-by date coming to an end for me as a professional goalkeeper. And unfortunately for me, the injury that I sustained was that bad. I actually never played professional soccer again. But because I burnt my bridges to become a professional soccer player and I had no education, and I ended up being broke, in debt, and living in rented accommodation with my wife and my children. And I ended up getting a dead-end job packing blood for a living, which wasn't exciting, shall we say. So let's say my life was absolutely in turmoil. So I went from my complete dream job, having thousands of people chanting my name every single week, to basically being the lowest of the low, working in a factory with, all I can say with the greatest respect to my fellow workmates. I don't want to say the losers, because that's a horrible thing to say, but let's just say they were not positive about life. So to me, being in an environment where I was with the winners every single day and people who wanted to win, and then all of a sudden being in an environment where people had, they'd actually died, but they'd not been buried yet, if that makes sense. So I went from a hero to a zero pretty quickly. It was a hard fall for me. However, for some reason, I just knew I'd have my own business. And I didn't know what at the time. I ended up being in this dead-end job for, I think it was about 18 months, if I can remember rightly. But one of the things that I did just to do my soul good is I used to coach voluntary, because every professional soccer club I played for, I used to voluntarily coach the goalkeepers. So I actually did this for free. I started a coaching business completely free of charge. And to be honest with you, I did it because I just wanted to feel good about myself. And I started a little company with 2 keepers called Just for Keepers. And at the time of chatting, Just for Keepers is in about 30 plus countries. We coach over 10,000 goalkeepers every single week. And I'm very honoured and proud to say that my organisation has helped more goalkeepers achieve their dreams than any other goalkeeping schools in history. I'm also very honoured to say that I've helped more goalkeeping coaches earn a full-time income in their own business, again, more than any similar organisation in history. And after 2 or 3 years building Just for Keepers, I actually quit my job. I was earning £2,000 per week. I'm going back 15, 16, 17 years ago now, maybe. So which was an awful lot of money. I was actually earning more money as a independent goalkeeping coach, working literally 20 hours a week than what the top professional soccer players were earning at the moment, because one of the systems that I generated, and I'll speak about it in a moment, once everything's in place, the business is on autopilot. So even though I was earning an amazing amount of money, I wasn't even working 20 hours a week, but that was the system that I put in place. Again, everything was good, fantastic, everything was flying, and then I had the second wake-up call. I broke my leg in a training ground session I was doing. Now at the time, it wasn't funny, but when I look back in hindsight, it was actually quite funny how I broke my leg. If I ever get to speak to you personally, I'll actually tell you how I broke my leg. It was quite funny, but back then it wasn't funny. And this was the second wake-up call for me, really, because what happened is there was a young goalkeeping coach that I took under my wing, and he came to me about the age of 15 years of age, and I developed him as a goalkeeping coach over a 4 to 5 year period. So when I broke my leg, I actually handed everything over to this goalkeeping coach, and I thought it was in good hands. But little did I know he was stealing from me, and he was actually planning on stealing all my business while I was obviously incapacitated. And he was going to put it all over to his new business. Now, thankfully, I got told about it just in time, and as I say, and also as well, my leg mended enough for me to get back into training. But by the time I got back, I went from a hero. This time I wasn't to a zero, but I'd lost a massive chunk of my income. And this was the next wake-up call for me, because I realised when I broke my leg, that could have been my other sell-by date. I was left vulnerable because I still needed to earn an income to pay my expenses for myself and my family. And by putting this goalkeeping coach in far too early, because I wasn't ready to put a goalkeeping coach in, which I'll explain in one of the, I think it's secret number 1. I wasn't ready. I actually nearly lost all my business. I realized then I had to start thinking about multiple streams of income. I started to realize that if I don't have other income streams in place, if I'm just relying on myself earning an income from my coaching business, that I'm in big trouble. So I started researching what I was going to do, and I actually found e-commerce. Now, after you've watched this free video, honestly, even if you don't do any of the information that I tell you in this free video, make sure you start your own e-commerce website. Can't strongly recommend it enough. I'll explain more about it when I get to this section, but this is one of the most important things that you can ever do. Now, I stumbled on the e-commerce because what happened is there was a young couple that I got introduced to, and my jaw hit the floor when they were telling me how much money they were making. And they were saying as long as they had a laptop and an internet connection, they can make money, they can make an income anywhere in the world. Now, to me, it wasn't the money that excited me because I was earning a decent income. To me, it was the fact that they could, as long as they had a laptop and an internet connection, they could earn an income. And that was the freedom that I was craving. That's what I needed. I was like, if I can have that in place, if I ever got injured again, I've got a sports e-commerce website that can give me a sustainable income. And I started on a quest to start my own e-commerce business. However, I made a massive mistake, and I made every mistake under the sun. This young couple was prepared to mentor me for free. And again, if you ever get to meet me, I'm not arrogant, far from it. What you see is what you get with me. But sometimes I can be a bit overly confident, and because this young couple, they were not selling sports products, they were selling like candles and like homemade furniture, like crafted furniture, so to speak. Because it wasn't related to my sport, I did not think they could help me. That mistake probably cost me 3 years of earning a decent income, because what was happening is 1 week I'd make $10, then I'd earn nothing for 3 weeks. Then I might earn $50, then I earn nothing for 1 week. Then I could earn $200 in 1 week, then I earn nothing for 4 weeks. It was really frustrating. I was really doing it the Thomas and Edison way. I was failing my way to success, and really I didn't have to, because these guys were prepared to mentor me for free. But unfortunately for me, I just didn't listen. So one day I was thinking, what am I doing wrong here? I was about to quit, but then it dawned on me, I had to have the common sense to invest in my education. Now, going back to me becoming a professional goalkeeper, or wanting to become a professional goalkeeper from the age of 14, if you remember when I said that I was going for soccer trials most weekends, and when the soccer coaches were telling me I was not good enough, I was going back to my goalkeeping coach, my mentors, and I was getting educated by my goalkeeping coaches, because I realised I had to have the common sense for experts to tell me what to do. For some reason, I did not think I had to do that in the e-commerce world. The moment I realised I had to get educated, everything changed for me. I sought out mentors. I read every book on the subject about having an e-commerce business. I subscribed to forums. I went to seminars. And then what happened then, all of a sudden, I started to earn $50 a day consistently, then $100 a day consistently, then $1,000 a day consistently, and it's just gone on from there. So it's safe to say I've walked my talk, and I went being from a hero back to a zero. And it's my mission in this free video training to help you become a hero as well. And I'm now going to walk you through my top 4 secrets on how I turned a simple coaching business that earns me over $500,000 every single year, and that I can now sell comfortably for a 7-figure income. Also, again, listen, you understand, I'm not going to be for everybody. For whatever reason, I might not resonate with you, that's fine. But as long as you take one gold nugget away from this free video, which I'm sure you will, I will at least feel as I've done my job and helped you at least in some small way. However, if what I say does resonate with you, I will 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000% give you the shortcut to success. Now, before I start going into the secrets, before I give you my 4 steps to success, word of warning, you must do this now while you have a name. Do not leave it until it's too late. So if you already got a bit of a name as a coach or in your sports business, do it now. I promise you will thank me for it one day. The massive mistake I see coaches make when I speak to them and say, hey, listen, you got a fantastic coaching business there or a sports business there. Look, you need to do A, B, and C. Put these other income streams in place. And they say, all right, things are going fantastic. I'll do it when I've got more time. And you'd be surprised how many times I've met that same coach 6 months later, a year later, 3 years later, and they've lost everything because they left it until it's too late. So please, if you've only got one income stream in place now, you need to do something about it now. Okay, so here we go. Secret number 1 is put your foundations in place. Now, when I speak about this to start with, you might go, come on, Ray, you're stating the obvious here. But as I go through the stages, you'll understand, or the secrets, you'll understand why I say what I say. And the first thing you must do is build a solid income in place. Build a solid business in place with a solid income. So what I mean by that is, if you're a sports coach, you need to put your students in first. And obviously, in the early days, you've got to go in and you've got to do all the coaching. You've got to wear 27 hats. You've got to do your accounts, your advertisements. You've got to do the coaching. You've got to do all the PR, speak to the parents. In the early days, you have got to start off yourself, but it's important that you do that, because the reason being is you're building a solid income in place. But the reason why I believe you should do that first is because you will then understand your business inside out. And that was the problem. When I broke my leg, I wasn't at a position where I understood my business inside out, even though I was making a lot of money. And then when I brought this coach in to cover me, I left myself vulnerable. Once you know your business inside out, you can then bring the right people in. You know what to expect from them. You know what to tell them what to do. And the fantastic thing about it as well, if you're telling them to do something that you've already done, one of the things I've always said to my goalkeeper coaches and my goalkeeping coaching franchise that I've got around the world, I always say to them, hey, look, I'm not going to ask you to do something that I've not done myself. That's such a powerful thing when you say that. You get so much respect, because the number one, thing when someone asks someone to do something, most people get a bee in the bonnet when they say, well, it's okay for you. Why are you telling me to do that? You've not done it yourself. So when you're saying to your coaches or your employees, hey, what I ask you to do, okay, I'm not asking you to do anything that I've not done myself, or I'm still not prepared to do myself to this day. So once you've got a solid business with a solid understanding, with a solid income, you can then bring the right people in to start to create your team, which I'll speak about in secret number 2. However, most coaches stay stuck. And this is the massive mistake coaches make, and please don't make this mistake. What they'll do is they'll continue to coach, even though that they're earning a good income. I'll give you an example. It was me. I was earning £2,000 a week. And I got to a stage. This is after the coach that tried to rob me, and this was like maybe 3 years after I kicked him out of my business. I was earning over probably about £2,500 a week at the time, so £10,000 a month. So that's about $15,000 a month. So it was an incredible amount of income for 20, 25 hours a week work. But I was coaching Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and Sundays. And I'll be honest with you, a bit of it was greed. I didn't want to bring people in because even as a professional soccer player, I never had much money. So me and my wife, there were stages in our life when we absolutely had nothing. So it was a bit of greed. I was a bit scared to bring people in because I wanted all this income for myself. But what happened is, because I was doing too much, I actually got exhausted and I actually collapsed on the training field one day. We had to ring the paramedics because they thought I was having a heart attack. That was another wake-up call for me. That's when I was like, look, I can't keep doing this. And that's what a lot of coaches unfortunately do. They just keep coaching and coaching and coaching. It's all their sweat equity. And that's when what happens then, that's when the sell-by date comes. The sell-by date comes, completely unexpected, because what 97% of sports coaches do is they're always just trading their time for money. Now, don't get me wrong, in the early days, you've got to do that, but there's got to be a time when you come to secret number 2. And this is when you start getting to a stage now where you can start turning your coaching business that earns you an hourly income to something that you can potentially sell for millions of dollars in revenue. Just 1 second, sorry. Oh, I was just getting a quick drink. Okay, so the next thing you need to do, without stating the obvious again, is create a team, okay? So, again, but you've got to do it at the right time. Now, when I say create a team, it doesn't have to be hundreds. It might only be 1 or 2 people, but here's the key: you need to bring in enough people so you do not have to physically coach if you do not want to. You must put yourself in a position, if you cannot coach for whatever reason, your business can still operate. Now, I'll say that again because it's so important. Whether it's one employee or 5 employees, depending on the size of your business, you want to put yourself in a position where you've got enough employees or coaches that you're still earning a good income, but you no longer require to be on the field or in the gym for you to continue to earn your income. Okay, so important. But you also want to be in a position still, if one of your employees or coaches let you down, that you can say, right, you out, and then you can still come back in again and coach, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, whether that's 1 coach or employee or 21, it depends on the size of your organization. The key is to make sure that you've got enough people in place, enough coaches in place, is that you're in a situation is that you no longer require to trade your time for money. However, the key is to find trustworthy people. Now, it's probably the same in, I'm from the soccer niche, and trying to find trustworthy people is like trying to find Noah's Ark. Unfortunately, there's not that many trustable people there. And the problem with me, I'm very trusting, and because I go into business with people with completely no hidden agenda, I think everyone is the same. So obviously, I can't really tell you about trusting people because, as I say, I'm not the best at trusting people because I trust everybody, But the key is to find trustworthy people. So whenever you're employing people, okay, so what I strongly advise you to do is try and get as many recommendations as you can about the person that you're about to employ. And I don't care if they're your best mate, go to a solicitor and get a contract, okay? It's so important. However, what I'm talking about here is freeing up your time, okay? So if you can free your time up, this gets you to this stage 2. Because once your time's freed up, that will give you time then to continue to put more effort into promoting your business, which will bring you in more revenue, which means you can maybe bring in more coaches or add more multiple streams of income into your business, which I'll explain in a moment. But again, I can't stress the importance. Even though some of you listening to this might go, oh, Ray, that sounds obvious now. It is obvious, okay? It's very basic, but 97% of coaches don't do it. They literally just keep coaching. And instead of positioning themselves in a position where they don't have to coach and eventually they can sell their company for a 7-figure income, they continue to coach. When their sell-by date comes, because they're still trading their time for money, that's when they end up having to give their business away for next to nothing, okay? So even though it sounds obvious, guys, 97% of coaches don't do this, okay? So you need to bring in the right coaches or employees, so you're in a situation where you no longer have to coach, okay? So if you get injured or ill, okay, yeah, you're still going to earn a decent income. Now, this to me is the most important one. Leads on to stage number 3 or secret number 3. Look, even if you don't listen to anything that I say, please do this. If you do this, what I'm going to say in secret number 3, whether it's next month or in 6 years' time, if you ever get to meet me, you'll say, Ray, thank you so much. This has changed my life for the better. This is the most important thing to do. You need to get a sports e-commerce website. Now, what I would recommend you do is whatever sports business you're in, get a sports website that sells that product. So if you're a tennis coach, for example, sell tennis equipment. If you're a mountain bike enthusiast, sell mountain bikes. If you're a martial artist, sell martial artist gear. And then again, once you get good at it, you can sell any product you want, but the easiest thing to do is to sell something that you're already involved in. Another question you might ask is, but Ray, what products do I sell? I look at my competition and they've got 60, 70, 80 products in the range. Don't worry about that. All you need to do is just niche within your sports niche, okay? I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment. But honestly, you only need to focus. You only need a few products. You don't need hundreds of products. You only need a few products. And the key is to find products that you're passionate about, because I guarantee products that you're passionate about in your sport, there'll be enough people in your sport who will potentially become your customer, and you can make thousands of dollars every day from selling those products that you're passionate about to potential customers and customers who are passionate about that same product. Look, here's quickly me for an example. As you know, I was a professional goalkeeper, so when I realised I had to bring a business in, a sports e-commerce business, I started designing my own goalkeeping gloves. So again, I'll give you all the website links at the end, so you can go and check it out, and you can see that it is a very much living website. I still make money from this website to this day. But if you look there, look at, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of goalkeeping gloves. Actually, I've actually got 12 pairs of goalkeeping gloves that I sell, and I've got some equipment. So I've got no more than 20 products. But when I started off with either 4 or 5 goalkeeping gloves, so you don't have to start off really big. Now you might say, well, look, Ray, I might not have the experience or the finances to start off, having my own brand. Just start selling, other people's products to start off with. And again, I'll give you some resources at the end where you can actually, it's so easy to actually sell other people's products without you having to purchase any stock. But the key is to eventually have your own brand, okay? So like to myself, to give you an example of me, if I'd have been like most goalkeeping coaches who just would coach all my life, then get to the age of 60, for example, and then one day my sell-by date comes and I think, oh my goodness me, I can no longer coach for whatever reason, and I've got a business there, I'm now vulnerable, because if people know I can no longer coach, I can no longer coach for a living, and I say, hey, do you want to buy my business? They're going to take advantage of that because they know that I can't coach anyway. So they're going to go, yeah, well, we know your business is worth 100 grand. Look, we'll give you 10,000. And for the most part, as I say, most people are forced to sell a business that they've worked so hard for 10, 20, 30 years. But again, so thankfully, I never did that. What I did, as I say, I went through stage 1, through stage 2, and then I created my own brand in stage 3. Now, if I wanted to sell my business, I could sell my business comfortably now for $1 million plus. It's the same principle as a coach. All I did is add stage 2 and stage 3. And that's what I'm really recommending you do. Now, once you get to there, I'd recommend doing stage 4 or secret number 4, which is having multiple streams of income in place. Now, here's some ideas of multiple streams of income. Okay, it could be a property. It could be stocks and shares. I'm not going to give any advice on this, by the way. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to go for. Actually, I am, but probably not what you're thinking. There's literally thousands of items, thousands of multiple streams of income that you can sort of go into. Now, again, a lot of people, follow property, stocks and shares, etc. And I think property is a fantastic way. I've got a property business, but I think there's a much, much better, cheaper way to do it. Okay, yeah. And that's to have an online business. The beauty of an online business, there are normally a low startup cost. You can develop what you're doing from your own home. And for the most part, you will only need a computer. Seriously, I've got some online businesses off the ground for $1. Okay, as I say, but the multiple streams of income is actually not necessarily linked to your sports business. Okay, so once you've got your sports business to a stage where you no longer have to coach, you've got your e-commerce business making you a fantastic income. So let's say, for example, you're earning $1,000 a day through your coaching business and your sports website, and everything's on autopilot. You're earning a lot of money. You've got a lot of disposable income. I then recommend that you then go into multiple streams of income outside of your sports business. That way, then you're not relying on earning an income just in your sports sector, if that makes sense. But I really do recommend an online business. As I say, it's so easy to start. As I say, I would really recommend you start to look at multiple streams of income. When you have the money coming in and also the free time to check out the new ventures, it's definitely worth doing. And to start an online business, and to start with an online business / opportunities, because of the low startup and running costs. So if you were to buy a property, you might have to put 100 grand down on a property. To start an online opportunity or venture, you can literally do it for literally, well, I've done it for $1. Normally it will cost you, I'll be honest with you, realistically, you're probably looking at a few $1,000s to get a proper opportunity off the ground, but you're talking maybe $2,000 or $3,000 rather than the 100 grand on buying gold or stocks and shares. I will guarantee, I've put 95% there, I'll guarantee 97% of your competition will not be doing these 4 steps for their long-term financial success and future. And if you did this, this will be leaving you to dominate your niche within your sports niche. Seriously, your competitors will not be doing this. 97% of them, 97% of them, they'll just be coaching for trading their time, trading their coaching time for an income. So if you build this up, as I say, rather than being like 97% of coaches, when you get to an age, you've basically got to give your business away. You can get to an age when you're ready to sell. You can sell for an income that can basically put you, help you through retirement. So let me just recap on these secrets. First of all, you need to get a solid foundation in place. So important. Second thing you need to do is to free up your time by bringing in the right people. By bringing in the right people and freeing up your time, that means you can then obviously bring in more income streams in for your business. To me, this is vital. You've got to do this. You need to have your own sports e-commerce website that is linked to the sport that you're in. So important. And then once you've got these 3 things in place, this now when it starts to become a potential multi-million-dollar business, then bring in multiple streams of income that's not related to your sports niche. So for whatever reason your sports niche goes belly up, but you're still earning $5, $10, $15, $20,000 per month from other streams of income, obviously you've still got that income to come in. Now if you've just understood what I've said there, you should be so excited, because that should be your focus now moving forward. That should be your pension. You're turning your business now from a coaching business where you're trading your time for hours to something that you can potentially sell for millions of dollars. Now, look, I'm not too sure what you've come looking here for today, whether or not you've just come to listen to what I've said and you're going to take away my secrets and add it into your business, or if you're about to start your business, obviously it's going to give you a good pointer. That's fine, not a problem. Take all the information away completely free of charge. That's what I've done. But you might say, look, Ray, I'm going to do it myself. I know it's going to be a rough ride and I'm going to have my ups and downs. And hey, Ray, I'm going to do it the way you do it. It might take me 3 or 4 years, but I'm going to do the Thomas and Edison way. I'm going to fail my way to success, which is fine. That's what I've done. I love failing my way to success. However, you could be a sports coach. You go, listen, Ray, I'm done with that. I've tried to do things myself. I've got too many things on my plate. Listen, I need help and advice. I'm looking for someone to get me to exactly what you've just said in this free training, how to get me from coaching for an hourly wage to put myself in a position where I can sell my business for potentially millions of dollars. So if that's the case, I can 1,000,000% help, because I can show you by the hand, so I can hold you by the hand and I can guide you and give you the shortcuts to success, because everything that I've done is 100% proven, and I'll give you all the links at the end that you can go and do your due diligence on me. So what I've created here, guys, I've created a program, okay, like a membership program, and it's designed to help you become a hero. It's designed to help you dominate your sports niche in your area. Seriously, what I teach in this program, it will help you dominate. I don't care how established other coaches are who you're competing against. If you listen to my advice in this program, not only will you comfortably compete with the competition, you'll absolutely fly past them as well. But also as well, this program is designed to get you from being a coach working for an hourly income to help you create a business that you could potentially sell for millions of dollars. So the question is to say, this program, how can I help? Well, as I say, I've developed a program that can help you generate over $500,000 plus per year with your sports business and website. Okay, now I've done this in a series of ways. Okay, you're going to be getting, if you decide that you're interested in this, you get a series of bonuses. Okay, bonus number 1, okay, I'll give you full access to my Sports Coach Guru program. This is over 20 hours of videos showing you exactly how I built the largest coaching company in my sports niche. Now, what this is all about here, now whether or not I can still click this, no, I have to go back, sorry. This is a membership site here, okay, and on the left-hand side, you see all the grey boxes, and you can see like the little down arrows. If you click one of those down arrows, in every single one, there's anywhere between 5 and 15 videos. And it's basically me standing in front of a whiteboard, just basically showing you how I built exactly what I'm speaking about here in this free training program, how I built a business that has made me over $3 million and has helped many coaches in a full-time income. And as I say, there's just literally over 20 hours of complete, I know I'm being biased, fantastic content. Seriously, no coach is doing this, okay? No coach is doing this, because there's not many coaches that has took a business across 30 plus countries, and then even for the one or two that might have done that, they certainly won't share what I'm doing, because obviously they want to keep everything close to the chest. But as I say, on the left hand side there, you'll see all the grey boxes, and each one of those grey boxes, if you click the down button, there's anywhere between 5 to 10, maybe sometimes actually up to 15 videos in each one, and then it's just me standing on the whiteboard again, anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, going through each video, each topic. Honestly, complete and utter gold dust. If you just listen and watch that membership website, watch all the videos in that membership website, you will 1,000,000% dominate your sports niche in your territory, and I don't care who your competition is. Bonus number 2, you'll get a done for you website. Okay, so if you're like, looking, right, I'd love to get an e-commerce website, but I don't know what to do, well, I've got you covered. Okay, this website makes me thousands of dollars every single day, and I'm going to allow you to copy this website. I'm going to get my web developer to copy this website for you, and it's going to save you easily 3 years of time. This is, honestly, it's worth getting involved just to get this website, because if you were to purchase a website like this, you will get no change out of $10,000. Let's say $10,000 out of $8,000. You will get no change out of $8,000. Okay, so it's worth getting involved just for that, because the biggest mistake most people make when they go and get a website developed is they go to a web developer and say, hey, develop me a nice looking website. And the mistake people make, and I've made this mistake, you think web developers are good at making a website look good, but what they don't understand is how to make websites that actually sell products, if that makes sense. This website will sell products for you, full stop. Now, not only do you get a done for you website, okay, yeah, bonus number 3 is I'll give you access to another membership website, okay, and that is how to develop, and that's how to basically how to get the best out of your sports website. And what it is, it's called Your Sports Website. And again, on the left hand side, you'll see all the modules, and again, these over 20 hours of videos in this membership website. So not only do you get the website that the web developer will do for you, I will then give you access to a membership website that will show you exactly how to make the most of your website, if that makes sense. So again, you know, I'm leaving no stone unturned here. But bonus number 4, okay, is bi-weekly group calls. This is gold dust. Okay, so every other week, all the sports coaches who I'm helping, we all get together. There could be 3 or 4 people on a call one week. There could be 44. It just depends. Obviously, it's all over the world. You know, people who I mentor, and obviously it just depends, you know, who can get on the time that I do the calls. But the bi-weekly group calls are absolutely gold dust, because not only does it, I'll guarantee what will happen is you'll come onto the bi-weekly chat, and you'll have a question that you want to ask, but someone in the group will ask a question. You go, oh wow, I never thought of that. So not only will they give you an idea, then that question actually gets answered, and then you can implement that into your business. And also as well, it's not only me that answers the questions. I also let the members on the chat, on the group, also answer as well. Okay, so then you're getting the benefit of other sports entrepreneurs giving you the answer as well. Also as well, bonus number 5 is you'll get my direct number. Okay, yeah, so you should be excited about that. No guru so-called guru that I know gives their direct number away. Now again, this is only for emergency uses only, okay, and it is only for messaging and for WhatsApps, okay, because I do ask for you to leave your questions for the bi-grouply chats. But if there's an emergency, you're allowed, you know, I say, well, look, you know, you can WhatsApp me and say, hey Ray, look, I'm stuck at a venue, this has happened, what do you recommend to do? And I generally get back to you within a couple of hours. No sports guru does that, as far as I'm aware anyway. Okay, so just to recap, okay, yeah, this program is about to obviously helping you how to generate a sports coaching business, stroke website, e-commerce website that can generate over $500,000 per year. So you'll get full access to the membership site Sports Coach Guru with over 20 hours of videos. The value for that is over $3,000. You'll get access to your you'll also get access to your sports website training video. That's another membership website, sorry. So again, once you've got your done for you website, you'll get access to free training on how to get you'll teach you how to sell products. That's valued at $3,000. You get your bi-weekly group calls. That's valued at, that should be well more than, I've just put $997. It's gold dust, to be honest. I can't really put a price on that because that is gold dust. You'll also get your done for you website. The value for that is $8,000, and really it's more than that. That's what I actually paid for that website. But over the years, I've added extensions and plugins, and I've made it a better website. Suppose it's like buying a car, and then once you've bought the car, you buy bigger exhaust, fatter wheels, tiger skin seats, fairy dice, and all of a sudden that that car that you paid $8,000 for is now worth $14,000 because of all the extras. That's what this website is, and that's what you get. Seriously, you should be getting involved just to get that website. You get my direct number again. I put a value at $997 there again. That's priceless. And I put the bi-weekly group calls again because again, that is priceless. Now the total value is well over $14,000 for this, and it's designed for one reason and one reason only, to help you become an absolute winner in your sports niche, okay? So another question you might be asking now, okay, Ray, how much, okay? How much is it going to be? Now, please don't worry. I'm not going to be charging you anywhere near this, okay? But normal investment for this program is going to be $10,000. However, I want to make this a really special and a no-brainer decision for you, so you can have your own successful and profitable sports coaching and e-commerce website business. So the price for this is going to be $297 per month. Yep, you hear me right, okay? It's just $297 per month. Also as well, there's going to be no contract, so you can cancel anytime. I really want this to be a completely no-brainer decision for you. This program will be getting sold for $10,000 in the very near future. So I'll explain why in a minute, because you might be saying, come on then, Ray, what's the catch? If you're saying it's worth, $10,000, why are you letting me have it for $297? Well, first I want to say as well, this deal is not going to stay around forever. I could pull this deal at any time. I'm not saying this to try to panic you to purchase this program, by the way. But once I hit a certain number of subscribers at 297, this deal is going to go, and it will be gone forever. But as I say, because this program is going to be a $10,000 program. However, the reason why I'm giving this program away today for just $297 per month is because I want your reviews, okay? What I want to do, because obviously I want to make sure that I make this a completely no-brainer decision for you, and I'm obviously going to go the extra mile to help you become a success. I'm after your reviews, to be honest with you, because when I do start charging $10,000 for this program, now don't worry, when I start charging $10,000 for this program, I'm not going to come back to you and go, hey, it's now $10,000. If you're paying $297, that's all you ever have to pay until you get to a point or a time where you go, hey, Ray, thanks for all your help and advice. I no longer need to pay that $297. I now know what I'm doing. That's fine. Hopefully we'll still be friends and I'll still help you to the best of my abilities. But as I say, I am going to be charging $10,000 per month. So for me to be, not per month, sorry, $10,000. So obviously I need good reviews, because if someone's going to pay $10,000, okay, yeah, I'm obviously going to have a ton of good reviews for anyone to part with that type of money, because obviously it is a lot of money. And so that's why I'm charging basically this no-brainer monthly payment of just $297 per month, because I want to bribe you. Okay, that's the reason being. Okay, but I do pre-warn you, this is not sales talk when I say this. Okay, yeah, this might be pulled tomorrow, because once I've got a certain amount of members paying $297, I know that I will do such a good job with them. I'll get the reviews that I want. So obviously I can start charging the $10,000 for this yearly. It's going to be a yearly program. I also just want to mention one thing, just for full transparency. It's $297 a month. Now, I'm doing this for two reasons, really. When you're ready for your website, there will be an additional $497 on top. So whether you're ready within 1 month or 3 months, there'll be $497. Reason being is at $297, I hope you can see I'm literally giving this away. Now, if someone gets involved and then after 5 weeks or 6 weeks, they say, hey Ray, I want my ready-made website, and then what happens then is I get the website developed, they've paid the $297, they cancel their membership with myself, I've lost money. Okay, yeah. At $497, I'm sure you can see I'm not making any money out of this, guy, seriously. I've cut a deal with my web developer, he gets all the money, okay, so it's going to be an additional payment on top. Second reason why I've done that as well, because there might be some of you who might say, hey Ray, look, the website is using something called OpenCart. So you might say, hey Ray, listen, I'm happy to pay the $297. I'm happy for all your advice, but I actually don't want an OpenCart website. I want a WooCommerce website, or I want a Shopify website. So again, what I've done as well is, you're not obligated. If you want a Shopify website, as I say, you're not obligated to pay the $497. So by doing this as an additional payment, okay, one, it protects me, but two, it helps me keep the price down for everyone, especially for the sports coaches that might want one like a Shopify website, if that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So just a quick recap, I'm going to finish then. Okay, so this is a program on how you can make a $500,000 plus per year with your sports coaching business with the e-commerce website. You'll get full access to my membership website, Sports Coach Guru, with over 20 hours worth of videos. That will help you 1,000,000% monopolize your area and comfortably help you compete with any coach in your area. A done for you website. Honestly, you should be getting involved just for that website. Honestly, it will change your business life, period. Okay, you'll get access to your sports website training program. So once you've got your website, you'll also get access to another membership website that will show you how to promote your website and make money from your website. You'll get bi-weekly group calls, which, as I say, is absolutely gold dust. And also you get my direct number if you've got anything in an emergency. And also I'll give you my guarantee for your success as long as you act. Okay, yeah. If you don't act on my advice, obviously there's nothing I can do about that. But if you act on my advice, seriously, you can have any level of success that you want. And the total value for that, as I say, is over $14,000, and you get it for just $297 per day. But I want to say again one more time, again, not saying this to frighten you, okay, yeah, this, you could go to get this and this could be pulled, okay, because once I get a certain number of members and subscribers at $297, because I know it sounds crazy, I'm actually not making any money on this whatsoever, seriously, okay. I'm going to be making the money when I charge $10,000, but as I say, I need those reviews, okay. So once I get the amount of people paying the $297, because statistically I will then know that I'm going to get the reviews, I'm going to pull this down, and it will never ever be up ever again. As promised, that's my no-brainer guarantee. There's some of the websites that I do. I've got many more websites, okay, but check out the websites there. goalkeepergloucesterDale.com. That's a website that I sell thousands of dollars every day on every single day on the internet. JustForKeepers.net. That obviously shows you all the coaching schools that I've got. There's my Wikipedia page. You can check me out. I am a real human being. And there's my Facebook and my Twitter. So again, you'll see me on social media, going live, etc. in my businesses. So if you check me out, you'll see that I am very much walking my talk, and I am very, very much real. Okay, so I'm going to leave that now. Again, so that's what you're going to be getting. Now below, there should be somewhere where you can actually, you can actually book to become a member. So if you look below now, you'll see where obviously you can now basically pay for the membership. And remember, look, there's no contract as well whatsoever, no contract. Okay, so as I say, so if you get all the information that you need after 1 month, simply cancel, and you've got a system that's worth over $14,000 for just $297 a month. And obviously you've got the website on top. So I'll leave this open for now. I'm going to love you and leave you. I say you got the if you think you're ready to join, as I say, just go below and fill in the details. But seriously, even if you don't decide to join me, you've got to ask this question: what is your sell by date? Okay, after you've watched this video, if you're not prepared to do something about making sure that when your sell by date does come, you need to make sure that you're in a position that you can still financially cover all your expenses. So please, as I say, even if you don't decide to do anything with me, not a problem, I won't be offended. Okay, please make sure that you do something now, so when your sell by date does come, you're not going to be like 97% of the coaches who sadly end up waiting tables or driving trucks or driving taxis. Okay, yeah. So as I say, hope this free video helped. I really hope that you become a member, and I really mean this. I really hope that I get to know you as a long-term friend, like I have with thousands of sports coaches all over the world, and I look forward to introducing you to my network of sports coaches all over the world. So have a great day or great night wherever you are. All the best. I'm going to leave this now. I'm going to leave this open so you can do a bit of due diligence on myself, and if you're interested to become a member, just go below and obviously fill in the details, and I look forward to getting to know you as a friend. All the best. That might work, don't